This is a 2-year review of the iPad Pro. Hey, what is up guys? Isaac's Hut here, and today we are going to be taking a look at my 2-year-old iPad Pro. This has been shown in a video below with the failed Logitech Combo Touch. And instead of that, I have replaced it with an Apple Magic Keyboard, so we'll also test that in the video as well. So the big headline feature of it is that it now comes with the M1 chip. Although this is from 2021, it is still a very powerful chip today. In fact, I'm actually editing this video with my iPad Pro. Because of the M1 chip, it is very powerful in doing it. Let's talk about gaming. Basic or casual games are good obviously. Geometry Dash is fun, but not a graphic demanding game, so it'll run fine on most new devices and can give you a mental rage quit. Minecraft is a little more challenging on devices like these since it doesn't have a lot of cooling, and this mostly applies to heavy games with console-like graphics or far rendered distances. It has to load a lot of chunks that could go down about more than 100 blocks and gotta load entities, only with slight lag on it with high render distance and max settings. And Asphalt 9 is, dare I say, a terrible game with great graphics, but not as good as Forza. If you're missing a car, you need to do the event to get the blueprints for it, but the blueprints are in the event and you can't do it because you don't have the car you need. Anyways, with average console graphics and running at 120 frames per second with Apple's ProMotion technology, it runs very well, but after 20 minutes of play, the heat is very noticeable and it starts dropping frames. So let's talk about speakers and the display. Although the 11-inch model still uses an LCD display, or more so the liquid retina display, it's still very good, and I would class it in the mid-range TV category. Although it's a small display, I would still put it in that category because it's quite good. And the speakers, they're class, full on bass, and it's still the best tablet speakers to date. How is battery life on this thing? Let's see. The battery life on this is amazing. I was editing with Final Cut Pro and I was at 50% editing it yesterday. This morning at 9 o'clock, my iPad died. That just shows how much battery you can get out of it, and I haven't even charged it since Monday. Even though I used it every day, I still got quite a fair bit of battery life. And I don't do very heavy stuff as well. The only really heavy thing is editing or just playing Minecraft, mostly. And let's look at the battery health of it. There are shortcuts that can look for the battery health of your iPad. So we'll just open this one up, and I've got quite a lot of charge cycles and my battery health is at 90%, so it's okay after like 2 years and a bit. The iPad Pro has Face ID on it, and it's very quick. Face ID was originally designed to work only in portrait until iOS 16. They brought the feature for it to work in landscape, but when they brought it to iPad Pro, it was designed to work in any way, because that's how the iPad was designed, to work in any way possible. The iPad can shoot really good photos and videos with its unique 10:7 aspect ratio. Here are just some photos here, and if we zoom into one of the photos, ew, is that? I have no idea what that is in there, but it looks gross, but you can see the refinement of dust and stuff. Obviously it's a bit fuzzy, but you can kind of see. The big feature that appealed to me on this was center stage, where it always keeps you in the frame, and it's great. So you don't need to move your iPad around, and because it's a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera on the front, it can pan around to try and put you in frame. This is a quite hard shot to do, but it keeps you in frame. Apple came out with the M2 iPad Pro not too long ago, and lots of people are saying, what's the point of it if you can't use all that power? M2 is so much powerful than M1, but yet the M1 is still capable of doing all the things that the M2 can do on an iPad. So what is the point of putting more power into that as well? If you're going to look for an iPad Pro, I suggest you just get the M1 model refurbished, or find a brand new one if you can. And for its value, it's actually quite good. When I first got it, I paid £800 for the 256GB version of it, and it is £100 cheaper to get the regular base 128GB version of it. So originally what I was thinking was to get an iPad Air. This was the Air 4 in 2020, but I needed more storage, so I tried to get the 256GB version, but it would make sense to get the Pro instead, because the Pro offered a bit more features and was much more powerful, and it was only £20 more to make the upgrade. Except, however, I was limited to 128GB of storage, so I paid that extra 100 to get 256GB that I needed. So it was a win-win. Now, both keyboards have their own set of features, so we'll go over pros first and then cons afterwards, and then we'll see who is the true winner at this. The pros of the Apple Magic Keyboard: it's much lighter, much versatile to carry around, and I don't know what else to say. It just feels like a better build. Even though the materials are a bit more rubbery feel, not like rubber as in erasers and stuff, but it's kind of a smooth texture rather than the grainier texture on the Combo Touch. It has a second port on it. It has a second USB-C port on it, not Thunderbolt, and it's charge only, so it just gives you more room to do other stuff on the other side. 2 USB-C ports are fine, but you can have a USB hub on one side and then just charge on the other side, and then that would make more sense. And the keyboard travel is much better. It just feels much nicer to type on. And let's go over some cons with this. It doesn't have any function row keys, so you're stuck having to manually do it. The case doesn't offer much protection. It offers protection for the front and back of the iPad, but doesn't offer side protection. Now let's come to our conclusion. Would I recommend this to anyone? Would I recommend any of them to anyone? For the iPad Pro, I would recommend it to a kid who wants to play video games, or just somebody who wants to watch videos, say like movies or TV shows on the go, or to have it in the car, or even say have it in the car for a family trip when you're going for a really long road trip. That would be good. And for the Apple Magic Keyboard, I would kind of recommend it if you have an iPad Pro. Excuse me. If you have an iPad Pro, I would say go and get it, because you can do Microsoft Word, you can do Microsoft PowerPoint, not like the one on the desktop like on Windows, but you can do you can just do basic word typing if you're a college student or in high school or university or whatever. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's taken me about 2 months in the making to finally finish it. Thanks for watching once again, and peace!